right. Okay, then. Okay, two little questions. I mean, Gaza. I heard on the other side of Gaza, there's Egypt. Maybe. I mean, why doesn't Egypt open borders and let the Gazans go wherever?
Well, we hear a lot of Israelis chanting death to Arabs, not death to Palestinians, but death to Arabs in these right-wing mobs. And now we're seeing some Arab regimes actually take actions that lead to the death of lots of Arabs. And the Egyptian regime is one of them. This is a regime led by Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, who is the former head of SCAF, the Supreme Council of the Egyptian Armed Forces, which mounted a coup, a very violent coup against Mohamed Morsi, who is the elected president, represented the Muslim Brotherhood. And it's such a repressive society right now. Sisi has very little he has no democratic legitimacy, but his goal is to wipe out domestic opposition from the Muslim Brotherhood, which is the only major civil society force capable of challenging the military and the deep state in Egypt. And the Muslim Brotherhood's cousin is seen as Hamas in the Gaza Strip. So Egypt is waging kind of a two-front war. This military regime in Egypt is waging a two-front war against the Muslim Brotherhood, sentencing hundreds and hundreds to death every month, who are just
even journalists, I heard.
Even journalists from Al Jazeera, which is seen as kind of sympathetic to the Brotherhood, have been jailed. These are international journalists on really specious, ridiculous charges. But there's this incitement campaign against Palestinian refugees in Egypt that they're kind of a Trojan horse for Hamas. People have been whipped up into a frenzy by Egyptian media against Hamas, and they've kept the Rafah border crossing on the Egyptian side of the Gaza Strip closed. And I'm hearing horrible stories about people trying to escape from the slaughter in Gaza, being trapped in between this no man's land of Egypt and the Gaza Strip, with the Egyptians refusing to allow them in. They're responsible for thousands of deaths. There's a group, by the way, of radical left-wing Israelis called Jews Against Genocide, which has been doing protests around the country. And they're lighting pyres of dolls, children's dolls, that represent the slaughtered children of Gaza. They just lit a pyre in front of the Egyptian embassy. So this government is as much responsible as the Israeli government for the situation that the people of the Gaza Strip are in. And then you have Saudi Arabia, which is helping to destabilize the Middle East to gain its own political advantage. They've done absolutely nothing. Many of the Arab regimes are completely silent and have left the Palestinians to fend for themselves. I mean, just consider that. Just consider being in the Gaza Strip and having the United States, the world's lone superpower, the most powerful army in history, Israel and Egypt, which both receive a total of like $5 to $6 billion a year in military aid from the U.S., which directly surrounds you on all sides, waging this full-fledged war against you. Just what is that like? I think that they're the bravest people in the world in the Gaza Strip right now, what they're experiencing. Just the common people. The most powerful forces in the world are aligned against them. And at the same time, they should know that the regular people in the street, people like us who feel disenfranchised in our own countries, who feel like our own governments don't represent us, our hearts are bleeding for them. I'm speaking for myself and for people I know, that we really respect their courage, just the regular people.
And